What is possible? This is Spectrum here. Welcome back to another episode of the Divine Speaker demo. As tonight is going to be a special night. Can you feel the love tonight? It's weird. I was like seeing that in like a fireworks tone, but then I was singing "Can You Feel the Love Tonight." That doesn't make any sense, probably. I know, but can you feel the love tonight? Baby, you're a firework. Okay, anyways, I don't know. I'm just in a good mood, I guess, because I love these moments, man. Like, it happens in every visual novel. For them, okay, maybe not every visual novel. For most visual novels, you have a scene like this, where it's like a touching one-on-one moment, and I'm just a sucker for these. Anyone who knows me knows I'm a sucker for these scenes in general. It's just, oh. I mean, it's kind of like a flex on characters. So it's like a good chance for like writers to like flex on characters and like their strengths and such things like that in the way of like showing emotion and their values and such. And it always makes me happy and excited, and it helps even better that there's amazing music in the background right now. Anyways, I'm not going to try to get emotional as we're about to jump into this episode, so without further ado, let's go and continue on some more Divine Speaker, as according to the comments. I'm glad you guys agreed here. Again, we'll come back to Leos at some point, but for tonight, I'll sleep near Fawn tonight. Well, I'm sure leaving Leos by himself will be fine. It's not like he'd want me there, and I don't really want to be around him either. Like Fawn said, sticking close to her for the night is a better idea. I'll go find him instead. I followed in the direction I saw him go a moment ago. I found him leaning up against a large tree, his eyes shut softly.
Hey, Fawn. Are you awake?
He nodded at me, opening his eyes slightly. He sounds really worn out. When I sat down next to him, he scooted a little closer. I'm sure he's cold in what he's wearing. When our arms touched, I could feel how cold he was even through our clothes. Quickly, I removed my jacket and laid it over his shoulders. He opened his mouth, probably to protest.
I'm warm, really. I'll tell you if I want it back.
I looked up towards the heavens. Above us, thousands of stars filled the dark sky.
You know, it's worth enduring through the darkness, because then you'll get to see the stars.
I turned to look at Fawn. He was staring at me already. Stars enchanted me from with his big, round eyes. Didn't want to look away.
So... You go first.
Oh, so... where did Leos go?
I'm not sure. I didn't check. I'm sure he'll be fine.
You could have stayed with him tonight. He's injured and...
Why? I'd rather come with you.
He looked away from me, a pink hue to his cheeks. His long eyelashes brushed against his delicate pale skin. It seems like a strange thing to notice, but it really stands out for some reason.
Thank you.
I don't really know how to say this, and I know nothing I say is going to make it better, but I'm really sorry about your house, everything you collected, your friends.
Don't worry about it. I'm just glad you're safe. I'm glad that you made it out alive. I hope they escaped. All I can do is hope.
I watched the night sky for a moment.
You know, the speaker taught us that the gods are always watching over us. From the moon, the sun, from every star in the sky. Surely they're watching out for us right now. I know everything will be okay.
I felt something soft on my shoulder. CG! CGs! Give me more, please! When I looked down, all I could see was his messy blue hair. He must have been exhausted.
Fawn, really, I should be the one thanking you.
Oh, like, could we just appreciate the beautiful CG? I'm just saying, let's just soak it in, man. Oh, I can't wait for the full game. This already feels like playing the full game, though. I'm not gonna lie, they spoiled us with this extended demo. Like, legitimately, this feels like more than a demo. This seems like a part, like a episode 1 of like a visual novel, if that makes sense. Which there is such things, by the way. Well, maybe not specifically for visual novels, but there is like games, and yeah, I guess there is probably some visual novels I wouldn't be surprised that do like chapter stuff instead of like doing a full game. This is only a demo. I can't get over that. and it's just beautiful. I love this. Anyway, I could like fawn about this game the whole day, so I'm not going to do that. This whole episode, I should say. But
so much has happened, and you've stuck with me through it all. You show me nothing but kindness. I've never met anyone like you before. Are you awake?
he shifted a little. I probably made him embarrassed again.
Have you heard the story about the sun and the moon before?
The sun and the moon?
The god of the sun and the god of the moon. The matron at my orphanage told it to me growing up. Once upon a time, the sun and the moon worked in harmony. They weren't contained to night and day, but ruled over the skies together. For a time, it worked. But they wanted more, and that was their undoing. The two were split apart forever, never to meet again. The matron says that after this, the two would reach out towards each other at dawn and at dusk, but they can never quite reach far enough.
Why are you telling me this?
You're pretty smart, Fawn. I wanted to know what you thought. To this day, I still don't know what she was trying to tell me. I guess I'll never find out. I hope they're okay.
Do you think they should have stayed apart?
I'm not sure, honestly.
Your biggest regrets in life come from not doing the things you want to do. If they took a chance and failed, at least they tried. If it's for the one you love, you can do anything. And who knows? They may still be able to fix it.
Love?
That's what it sounds like to me.
I closed my eyes and leaned my head against his. It was warm and comfortable. It felt natural.
It really is strange, you know? That so many bad things could happen. Yet, I could feel so happy. I don't know what it is about you, but you cheer me up every time.
He's in love. I don't know how to put it into words, but there's something special about Fawn. Thoughts of Fawn drifted through my mind as my consciousness slipped away.
Truth. Find it. Judgment. From the gods.
Ugh.
Okay, here, before we continue on, I'm gonna look at something. I'm gonna look at that story again. Leos, what the fuck is love? Have you heard the story about the sun and moon, the god of the sun? Yep, yeah. I just want to make sure I read it right. Once upon a time, the sun and moon worked in harmony. They weren't contained in night and day, but ruled over the skies together for a time of war. But they wanted more, and that was their undoing. The two were yep. Maybe just after this, the two would reach out towards each other again. Okay, so that has to be. It's like what I mentioned last episode. Which, if you haven't watched again, go back to my channel and check it out. Highly recommend to do so because it kind of makes sense what I'm about to say right now. I feel like it seems like the matron even knew at some point. She was from the beginning of the demo, except not on this demo. The demo I had on my other channel. Again, anyways, it's at the beginning of the game where you meet her. But I feel like that story is definitely relating to the fact that the speaker and whoever, what was the name? I forgot already. They mentioned it last episode. Was it Caspian? Yeah, it was Caspian. So my guess is that Caspian and the speaker were on good terms at some point. Or maybe it wasn't the speaker. It could have been somebody else. It could have been Caspian and someone else. I'm pretty sure it was the speaker. That they were on good terms, but then something happened. AKA one of them wanted more power over the other instead of like doing it together. And because of that, that kind of led to the downfall and a lot of betrayals and such things like that, you know? So I'm assuming that's what happened. And because of that, the story kind of makes sense for the sense of like now they're both like separated and controlling over two different things. Is I'm guessing here, my guess here is that Caspian is ruling everything that's not in Aurelia Cavella. On the other hand, the speaker controls Aurelia Cavella. That's like kind of like their agreement, if you will. Their I get maybe not agreement, but I guess you could say like without even like telling each other, like they know that that's their agreement, if that makes any sense. I don't know. It's like it's not really in the rule book or anything. It's just that's how it is. That's my guess. I don't know. I feel like that's what the story's telling me, and it kind of hinted it last episode too. Like I said, of the whole thing about Caspian, them not finding the body and everything. Like Caspian disappeared, didn't die, disappeared. Got to keep that in mind. And the speaker is controlling everything, literally is micromanaging everything. So I feel like that's where we're at right now. I feel like that story definitely relates to my theory, which I think my theory could be right in that case. The question is, who is this Caspian? Is it Fawn? Is it Leos? Is it someone else? We'll find out. That's the whole mystery. That's one of the big mysteries, to say the least. I woke up all sweaty, my hand clenched in a fist around Fawn's. Oh, that's adorable. I felt him shift from my shoulder.
Are you okay? Is it the dreams again?
Yeah, I'm alright.
He was looking down our interlocked hands.
Oh, sorry.
I took my hand away from his quickly.
We should try to find...
Well, you two are awfully close.
Maybe.
It's not what it looks like.
What does it look like? Anyway, there you are. I was about to come looking for you. How long have you been standing there?
Long enough?
Oh,
Right.
man. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, boy. I quickly got up and pressed to turn off my clothes before holding out my hand to the red-faced Fawn.
Here, let me help you up.
Thank you.
I looked closely at Leo's. His face was a little ashen, and he had shadows under his eyes.
How are you feeling today?
How do you think I'm feeling?
Not great?
Why did you bother asking?
Oh.
Fine, I'm feeling fine. Tired and a little sore, but it's not the worst injury I've ever had.
Really? He really doesn't look fine. Well, you say that, then you look, and you're like, you look again. You had to make sure that what you're saying makes sense, and you look again, and you're like, okay, no, he actually does look fine. But I can't be the only one who thinks that. Come on, man. There's no way. Look at that. You could clean stuff off of that. Okay, I'm just saying. He's much too proud. He won't admit it even when he needs help.
We should check both of your wounds before we leave. And drink. It might be a while before we find more drinkable water.
It's great to know that not everything the Pipsqueak says is ridiculous after all.
These two are like cat and mouse. Fawn doesn't do anything to defend himself, and Leos just happily chases him.
Anyway, how much further do we have to go?
It's about a 2-day walk from my house, so if we leave now, then we should be close by sunset.
It only took us a few minutes to prepare ourselves for today's trek. I rubbed my hands together and tightened my collar around me. This time of the morning, the wind was really biting. I know it's a good thing that we're not anywhere close to Aurelia Cavella, but it still hurts to be so far from my home and the people I care about. I can't help but feel like we're going to in one massive circle with no end in sight and for no purpose, that we'll be running away like this forever. Even if we get to where Fawn's leading us, then what? More forests? Are the three of us meant to live our lives into some treehouse in harmony? I don't see that happening. If I manage to survive, what can I even do? Just like yesterday, we walked until we could barely talk anymore, or walk anymore. Rather, we walked until I could barely walk anymore. Fawn seems used to it, and despite Leo's injuries, he was getting around fine. He was actually looking brighter than before. The sun was already high up in the sky. Even when I put my hand to block it, rays of sunshine spilled out between the gaps in my fingers and got into my eyes. My lungs felt like they were burning and my legs felt heavy like lead. Am I really this unfit? At home, we have a garden that I work in, but it's not nearly as intense as this.
Guys, I really think I need a quick break.
I can barely get a word through my panting.
Oh,
Fawn rushed back towards me.
I'm so sorry. You should have said earlier if you needed a break. Why don't we stop here for a while? I don't think there's too much further to go after this anyway.
Why bother stopping if it isn't much further?
He's obviously struggling, so...
Then he just needs to keep up.
I don't think...
What the hell was that? We all stopped dead in our tracks. What was that? Fawn motioned us all to get down. Crunching footsteps grew louder, closer, and along with the sounds of laughter. Is that a group of people? Out here walking and chatting? I opened my mouth to ask Fawn to put his finger in his lips. We don't know who they are, so it's better if they don't know we're here. When I looked up towards Leos, I could see his narrowed eyes darting from place to place. He looked as confused as I felt. People? This far out? Surely not. The fact that we're here is unheard of, but other people too?
And did you see the size of his coin purse? As if he'll be missing it.
Can't miss anything when you're already kicking around the abyss.
From the bushes, we could hear thunderous laughter coming closer to us by the second. I couldn't stay quiet anymore.
Who are they?
Shush.
They all stopped and listened. One of them asking if they heard that.
Yeah, from over there. Something shuffling about.
Why would you speak up? That doesn't mean... I think of the Lord of the Rings fellowship scene where all the hobbits go under the tree trunk, or like the roots, I guess, or the big root branch thing that was... Anyways, when the ring wraith was chasing them. Can you imagine just Frodo just blurting out like, guys, who do you think that is? Insta kill right there. But anyways, what the fuck? Why would you speak up? Terrible timing. Ah, crap. Crunch, crunch. Whoever that was slowly getting closer. My body felt numb, a dull ache in my ears from the sound of my own heartbeat. What should I do? How do I...
Damn it. Why the hell are you two so fucking stupid?
What?
Before I say anything else, he already bounced to his feet and had a dagger in each hand.
Well. Looks like we got another one wanting a lighter purse. We'll be happy to take it off your hands.
We're lucky today, boss. Ain't usually no one around here.
Sounds New Yorkish. Ain't no one around here, boss. You know, I can't do it. Forget I just tried to do an accent.
Try me.
Ooh, he spat in their direction.
As if you could ever touch me with that blade of yours. I doubt you even know which end to hold. Wait,
he's still injured. I have to help him. My hands are shaking. I wanted to jump up and stand with him, but I could barely breathe. I took a moment to breathe in and out slowly. Finally, the drumming in my ears calmed down a little.
What are you calling me?
Ah, both hard of hearing and a bumbling oaf. What a delightful combination.
I poked my head out of the bushes just in time to see the group of men Leos is facing. They shuffled about awkwardly, glancing at the one in the center. That must be their leader. I'm sure they aren't used to him being insulted like this.
Tough words coming from someone that's outnumbered. My boys are gonna chew you up.
His face was getting redder and redder, and his jaw was clenched shut. I leapt to my feet and rushed to Leo's side.
What are you doing?
Before he could start complaining, I grabbed one of the knives he had strapped to his side and held it out in front of me.
He's not alone. I'll protect him.
Silence, apart from the sound of Leo sighing quietly. But not long after, the supposed leader burst out laughing and his entire crew joined in too.
Looks like we have ourselves a knight in shiny armor. We didn't know you brought your boyfriend.
Even more gold for us then.
I clenched my hands around the pointed blade. The cool metal almost stunned my skin. I've never even held one before, let alone used one.
What are you doing? Get out of here!
No, I'm going to help you.
No!
A flash of metal passed directly in front of my eyes. I only just managed to fall back in time to avoid it. All the air left my lungs when I hit the ground hard. Only a second later, the same knife came down on me from above. I didn't have time to react. I clenched my eyes shut and shielded my face, but the blow never came.
Wait!
When I opened my eyes, I saw my assailant go skidding across the dirty forest floor with Fawn on top of him. Did Fawn just tackle him?
Get him, boys.
There was no time to think about it. I jumped to my feet and pulled Fawn up from the ground, retreating back to stand closer to Leo's.
Hey, mouse boy!
Fawn plucked the dagger that was thrown to him right out from the air. They ran at us, screaming and waving their weapons around like madmen. I gripped the dagger tighter in my hands. Holding it is one thing. Can I use this to hurt someone? The first two went directly to Leo's, since he was the one that insulted their boss. That left two others to deal with. They stood back, watching and shouting. They circled around Leo, smirking and holding up their swords.
What you gonna do, pretty boy?
Uh-oh. It happened in an instant. The first one charged out, and Leo's quickly kicked him in the stomach and sent him flying through the bushes. Without even a glance, he threw one of the daggers he was holding in the direction the man had been kicked. By the sound that came from the bushes, it must have hit. He moved gracefully across the forest floor as the second man ran towards him. He dodged the blow so easily, it was like he was going easy on him. He ducked and leaned out of the way each swing.
Stop moving around so much.
The second man's swings were becoming wild and erratic, with no rhythm or thought. I have no knowledge of swordplay, and even I could tell he was doing badly. With a smirk of his face, Leos just dodged him time and time again, as if he was playing with them. Every time he missed, his face went deeper shade of red. All I could do was watch. I wanted to help, but my legs felt so heavy that I couldn't even take a single step forward. He suddenly fell to the ground, clutching at his hand. The grass around was splattered with flecks of blood, and he let out pained groans. Leos looked down at the man with a grin on his face.
Yep, shithead. Aren't you boys gonna chew me up? I'm waiting.
Ooh, things of dreams and nightmares. Can you imagine seeing that? Would you think that's a nightmare or a dream? I don't know. Take it as you will.
You asshole.
Before he could even finish speaking, Leo swung his leg out and kicked him straight across the face. He fell on his back and didn't make any effort to get up or argue.
I definitely like you more when you're like this. You're much more agreeable when you can't talk. Baby, how cold. Let's see if your friends can do any better, huh?
Ooh, he's terrifying. Leos looks like a completely different person. Up until now, he seemed kind of like a smug asshole, but laughing, covered in blood, there's something else there. Something else behind his cold eyes. From the way he darted around and fought, you wouldn't even know that he was injured. His eyes are wild, concentrated only on one thing: killing. Death. He spun again and again, quickly digging his dagger into the shoulder of a different attacker. It was the same man that Fawn had tackled earlier, back for another go. I can't even take my eyes off Leos as he was taken over by that bloodlust. He pushed his attacker to the floor, stabbing him over and over again in the throat and face. Blood covered Leos' hands, but he still didn't stop. Fawn stood beside me, eyes locked on the same horrific scene. I wanted to look away so badly, but I couldn't.
Raen!
Fawn pushed me backwards to the bushes that we jumped out only a couple minutes before. I stumbled before steadying myself on his tree trunk, just as I see the final man swinging at Fawn. It was the one talking lots earlier, the boss of the group. Fawn blocked and dodged attacks, but his movements were much slower than Leos. The difference between the two was obvious at a glance. He barely had time to dodge, let alone time to attack. I put the dagger that was still in my hands. Can I actually use this? Can I possibly kill someone? Is it okay to kill someone to save yourself? Someone you don't know? Do I have any choice? No, I can't let him hurt Fawn. With each step, my courage faded even more. I don't know how to fight, how to block or defend myself, how to hurt someone like that. There's nothing I could do to help, is there? Before I could do anything, Fawn was thrown to the floor with enough force to make him cry out. He stood victoriously over Fawn's body. If I don't do something now...
Stop! Wait! Don't hurt him!
I'd almost forgotten about you.
He turned his attention towards me and I instinctively took a step back. I looked down at Fawn. He seems a little rattled, but mostly unharmed. At least he's safe for now. The man took another step towards me, anger crossing his face before it changed to a smile. He thinks I'm an easy target. He's not wrong.
Leave us alone!
He raised his voice, telling me that he were outnumbered, that his pals would finish up the other two soon.
Pals, really? Strange that I can't see any around. Raen, get away from him.
Fawn pushed himself up to his knees. His face was suddenly serious. He was within arm's reach now. There was nowhere to run. Leos was busy to one side, Fawn the other, and behind me, only trees. He'd be able to reach me no matter where I went. I took my final step back and came in contact with a tree trunk. At least I managed to draw him away from Fawn. If I could just buy him enough time to get out of here. With my eyes squeezed shut, I clutched the dagger in my chest and prayed for a miracle.
Leos!
Fawn's scream echoed throughout the entire forest and everything came to a standstill. I waited for the touch of the boss's sweaty fingers, but it never came. Nothing happened. When I opened my eyes, there was no one in front of me. Instead, he laid on his stomach down on the grass a few feet away. Leo stayed behind him, glaring behind his knitted brows. He looked absolutely livid.
If you lay a single one of your disgusting fucking fingers on either one of them, I'll remove them from your body. I'll snap off every single one of them.
Ooh, that voice. God, Leos' voice actor. 50 out of 10. Holy shit. But in one hand, he still held a dagger, but the other was some kind of long leather rope. The other end was wrapped around my attacker's ankle. Did he just use that to drag him off his feet? Thank the gods we hadn't stripped Leos of all of his weapons after all. Slowly, Fawn approached the man lying down on the ground. He knelt beside him and flipped the man over so that he was facing upwards.
Don't you dare speak to Raen like that.
His back was to me, so I couldn't see his face, but his voice was cold. He leaned even closer to the man.
I'm so fucking scared. The Pansy Boy's gonna kill me.
Killing you would be too kind.
With a thud, Fawn punched the man in the face. He wailed and howled, holding his nose and thrashing around. Blood poured out from his fingers, pulling in the grass that laid underneath them.
Fawn?
That was surprising. Even Leos looked astounded. He turned around, an innocent look on his face.
Yes?
Fucking asshole! Oh, you wait till I get my hands up.
Leos flung his remaining knife in the man's calf. His clothes quickly turned a deep
Was I
red.
speaking to you, filth? I don't remember saying anything you knew.
Fawn looked down at his bloody fist, a surprised look on his face.
I didn't.
The man rolled around, desperately trying to grab onto someone. Leos kicked him back over with a thud.
Things aren't looking so good for you now, eh? Hey, where did all those friends of yours go? Oh, wait, that's right. I killed them.
Leos knelt down beside the man, pulled the dagger out of his leg. Blood ran down the edge of the dark metal. He pulled the boss up by his greasy hair. Leos smirked at the way he struggled.
Good night.
He wrapped the leather around the man's throat. Well, wait, is he going to... His face turned red before turning purple as he desperately tried to claw the whip around his throat.
Wait, Leos!
What?
Killing him is too easy.
You don't have to kill him. Let's just get out of here, okay?
I saw a flicker of emotion cross Leo's face. Hesitation? I'm not sure. It's the first time I've seen an emotion that other than lust for battle on his face throughout this whole ordeal. I know these are bad people, really, I know that. The other bodies that were spread out over the grass hadn't moved. Were they dead? Injured? I didn't know. Even if it was to protect me, I don't want Leos to keep killing. I dropped the weapon I was holding and took a deep breath. The muscles in my arm ached, despite my lack of involvement. Okay, I have no reason to be scared anymore. I put my shaky hand on Leo's shoulder. He turned his eyes towards me, a strange look on his face.
It's fine. You can let him go. We're okay now.
Let's just go. This man isn't worth our time.
Fine. He's not worthy of being killed by me anyway.
Hey. Leos immediately let go of his hair and the man came crashing to the ground. With the whip removed from his neck, he gasped for breath and crawled desperately away from us. There was a purple bruise around his neck that wouldn't be going away anytime soon.
You're lucky these two are so forgiving. If I ever see you again, I'll gut you where you stand. Understood?
Yes, sir.
A quick kick to his behind let the boss face down in the mud. This might be the most unlucky day of his life.
That wasn't necessary.
Oh, but fun nonetheless.
Lightly, I tugged on Leo's sleeve.
Let's get out of here.
When he bent down to pick up his thrown weapons and quickly glided over back to me. Every step was smooth like he was walking on clouds. The crazed look in his eyes were gone, but a smirk replaced it immediately.
What are you so happy about?
He bent down until we were at eye level with each
The
other.
look of terror in someone's eyes when they realize they're outmatched is like nothing else. Oh, they talk big, but when it comes down to it, they're nothing but amateurs.
Fawn looked around our battlefield, back to his usual self.
Are the rest of them dead?
Who knows? That depends on how good of a shot you think I am.
Death isn't something to laugh at. You shouldn't take it so lightly.
Really? Because only a moment ago you seemed like you'd be up for killing that fat oaf. But I guess at the end of the day, someone like you would never understand what it feels like.
Leos moved his hand over Fawn, peering into his face.
Or would you?
No,
That's enough. Please. I just want to leave. I can't look at this any longer.
Okay, let's go. I don't think we're too far from the edge of the forest now.
And I think that's a good place to stop it off at. But oh, man, what an episode. Action-packed. I love it. Again, I can't stress it enough, man. I can't stress it enough. This game is heavily inspired. And seriously, I think you can't take a better inspiration than Lamento. I think Lamento literally had everything you would want in a visual novel. At least personally, I think you would. And I think the fact that Divine Speaker, I'm pretty damn sure. I'm still going to keep saying until it's actually confirmed by the creators and writers and whatnot. But I'm pretty sure they're inspired heavily by Lamento. And that's amazing. And I think it's a great game to be inspired by because I'm getting that same vibe here throughout. I know I keep saying it every episode, but seriously, like that's such a great thing to do because Lamento is amazing, and I'm already loving this game. This visual novel is seriously just gonna blow my mind. I am looking forward to it when it comes out next year. But anyways, so we got some interesting things, and speaking of Lamento, actually, we're getting some sort of similar character things on like just like their backgrounds and possibilities to come forward, I guess. So like for example Asito, for example, Fawn might have a similar thing of like Asito, the sense that like he is like an to be fair, Asito is different. Like they lived in the world that Asato's in. I mean, to be fair, it's kind of like this in this world, but I don't know. It's maybe not to that extent, where literally like he was living in a cult. Well, he was in fighting with the cult, if I remember. Asato, like, Asato was living in like a kind of like a society that was kind of strict. I say kind of, they're actually really strict, a really strict society. But not only that, they're also very aggressive and pretty much bred to fight against like these evil cultist Neko kitties. But like seriously, like that's like probably the main difference. So Asato is naturally just a fighter, where Fawn naturally didn't grow up to be a fighter, I'm assuming. However, he might like have that werewolf type of thing where suddenly like something clicks and changes him instantly, kind of like Asato did, where something clicks and you just can't stop him from just going complete beast mode. But I'm assuming we're gonna get that later on. We saw a hint of that, just a tiny hint of that from Fawn in this episode. We didn't see the full force, and it's gonna be scary when he goes full force. I can imagine him turning into like a monster. I mean, after all, he has lived in the forest by himself for who knows how long right now. Outside of that, Leo's, I'm getting very similar vibes to Rai. I mean, it kind of makes sense, as they're both kind of similar for the most part. But I guess the big difference is Rai is like cold and confident, where Leos is like loud and confident about it. It's like, that's probably the biggest difference. But you're starting to see the similar thing, like when they start killing and get on that killing spree, they're unstoppable. So that's gonna be like the biggest thing going on forward too. But anyways, that's what I think. If you did enjoy it, please leave a like and share. If you enjoyed, subscribe down below and click on bell button so you be notified when the next episode will come up. And other than that, follow me on all social media sites down below. Follow me on Twitch, or even better, subscribe to me on Twitch. That'd be much appreciated. As we're gonna start live streaming soon enough. Might be aiming for Thursday. We'll see. It just kind of depends, because I have a couple interviews this week, so that makes me feel happy. Other than that, thank you all for watching. I'll see you later. Okay, love you, and don't forget to stay awesome.